Tom Holland's Spider-Man is a lot more powerful than people actually give him credit for. He's usually downplayed because he's in the MCU constantly making jokes and regularly getting rescued by older heroes. Like, it's pretty easy to forget that this version of Peter Parker has already fought Captain America, bodied the Winter Soldier and Sam Wilson in a 2v1, helped restrain Thanos, and defeated the Green Goblin in a straight up fight. So today I'm putting Tom Holland's Spider-Man against 9 villains from completely different universes to put him to the test to see if he's actually a fraud. So for the tiers, coming in at the top we have They Beat Spider-Man, Honorable Battle, which means the battle is very close, but in the end Spider-Man will come out victorious. It'll take some time, pretty self-explanatory, and at the bottom we have Easy. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Coming in first, we have Homelander from The Boys. This seems like a horrible matchup for Peter because Homelander is essentially an evil Superman. And I'm pretty sure we can all collectively agree that if it came to it, if Superman had to fight Spider-Man, Superman would win. Homelander can fly, fire heat vision from his eyes, and effortlessly tear normal humans apart. He fought Soulja Boy, Butcher, and Huey at the same exact time during Herogasm, while Butcher and Huey were also juiced up on Temp V. Even when all three briefly pinned him down, Homelander still escaped once he realized he was in actual danger. However, Homelander is not completely invincible. Queen Maeve was able to hurt him during their fight in the Vought Tower. She made his nose bleed, stepped a metal object into his ear, and temporarily stunned him. And also for the final battle of season 5, and I'm talking about before he even was depowered, I'm talking about when he fought Butcher and Ryan at the same time and lost. Like, Homelander in his universe is always going up against weaker opponents, so imagine someone stronger for once pulling up into the Boys universe. Also, Peter's spider sense would help him avoid the heat vision initially, so Homelander would have difficulty landing a clean shot. But the problem is that you can't really incapacitate Homelander in his own universe, but I'm sure with all the Stark technology that exists in the MCU, Peter would call up Tony and then ask him to create something to lock him up for good. Now with Homelander, I genuinely believe that Spider-Man could win, but come on, it's gonna have to be an honorable battle to put Homelander down. Next, we have Albert Wesker. So after infecting himself with an experimental virus, Wesker gained superhuman strength, durability, healing, and most importantly, his ridiculous speed. In RE5, Wesker moves so quickly that he appears to teleport, casually dodging bullets at close range before his opponents can properly aim. However, his speed is not actual teleportation. Wesker is actually moving extremely quickly, which means Peter's spider sense should still detect his attacks, and that would completely confuse Wesker. He is so used to opponents aiming where he is standing and missing because he moves before they even pull the trigger. But Peter does not need to see him to move. His body would automatically warn him whenever Wesker was about to attack. Wesker is also intelligent enough to change strategies. Instead of repeatedly attempting direct attacks, he could throw objects from several directions or force Peter into an enclosed area where there is less room to dodge. But Peter has the strength advantage. Once Peter lands a serious punch, Wesker is 100% going to feel it. And Wesker isn't really like Homelander whatsoever. He doesn't have flight, he doesn't have heat vision. Sure, he's fast, but Homelander is faster than Wesker. In The Boys season 5, Homelander's flight literally caught up with A-Train, a speedster. Now, Wesker's regeneration would make killing him difficult, but dude, Peter is not here to kill, because Peter does not kill. Peter only needs to immobilize him just like he did with Homelander, and I feel like if you can immobilize Homelander, you could 100% immobilize Wesker. Now with this, I mean, dude, Spider-Man is just so OP, so I feel like it'll only really take some time. Like, sure, Wesker could get some hits in, it could be a little fights, but I don't think it'll be an honorable battle where Wesker really puts a dent in Peter Parker. Next, we have Jason Voorhees. Now, I'm using Undead Jason from Jason Lives and onward, because this version was resurrected by lightning and became significantly stronger and more durable than his human form. And if it was human form, this would be below the tier of easy. Now, Undead Jason can crush skulls, throw full-grown adults across rooms, and continue fighting after surviving massive injuries. But the thing is, he does all of that against ordinary humans. So he basically basically is unstoppable to them. Against Spider-Man though, he is unbelievably slow. Like Jason would never land a normal machete swing on Peter at all. I mean, dude, if he's going up against Homelander and Wesker, this is like one of the easiest matchups for him. Like Peter could just easily jump over Jason and then web the machete away and then stick him to a wall before Jason even understood what in the world was happening. As the movies have shown, Jason has a habit of returning whether electricity, telekinesis, or just the franchise itself demands it. So I mean, like, this is just an easy win for Peter Parker. I don't see a world even where Jason Voorhees gets one hit. Or maybe Jason does get one hit because Peter pulls up and thinks, oh, it's just a silly human in a silly little costume. Come on, dude, let me take you in. And then just Jason hits him hard as hell. And then he's just like, okay, wait, never mind. This guy is strong. I gotta lock in. But I mean, other than that, I don't really see anything. Next, we have Michael Myers. Now, Myers has a similar problem to Jason, except the fight would be even more unfair because Michael is an actual human and he isn't undead like Jason is. And also, Michael is not as durable and strong as undead Jason. Also, Michael's main strategy is stalking and appearing behind someone when they believe they are safe. So right off the bat, Michael's entire skill set becomes useless because you aren't sneaking up on Spider-Man. All Peter would have to do is easily web him from head to toe and then deliver him to the police. This is an easy fight. He even goes below Jason Voorhees. Next, we have Deathstroke. Now for Deathstroke, I'm using Slade Wilson from the Arrowverse. He is also a trained soldier with decades of combat experience, making him far more tactical than most of Peter's opponents. Now, of course, Slade would quickly recognize that he cannot overpower Peter Parker whatsoever. Instead, he would have to study him. Like, the thing that Deathstroke does best is that he could threaten civilians, place explosives around the area, and attack Peter while he was distracted by rescuing people. This is where Slade shines, because he does not need to be stronger than Spider-Man physically if he can force Peter Parker into making predictable decisions. But don't get me wrong, there still is an enormous physical gap. Like, if this ever really went hand-to-hand combat, Deathstroke is done within the first 10 seconds. So if we're being real here, if this came to a physical fight, this would be easy. But considering the fact that Deathstroke will just give him prep time and he has hostages and he has the scenario where Peter actually has to do something in order to actually put him down, well, not put him down, to put him behind bars, because Spider-Man needs to rescue the neighborhood while also trying to defeat the villain. Next, we have Bane. So for this matchup, I'm using Bane from the Batman Arkham games, specifically his strongest version from Arkham Origins. And unlike the Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, this version would actually give Spider-Man a run for his money. Once Bane injected himself with TN1, though he became a completely different monster, his body grew massively and he could charge through concrete structures while barely slowing down. So physically, this version of Bane is much closer to Spider-Man than most villains on this list would be. But the problem for Bane is his speed. Even at his strongest, Bane's attacks are extremely aggressive and predictable because, I mean, he's a huge giant. He charges directly toward his opponent and relies on absorbing damage until he can grab them. That works against Batman because Batman is still limited by human reflexes. However, Peter would have to be careful about holding back. If he treated Bane like an ordinary criminal and allowed himself to get grabbed, Bane could do serious damage. Bane would also realize quickly that Peter is young and emotionally vulnerable. The Arkham Origins version discovered Batman's secret identity and attacked Alfred specifically to break Bruce mentally. If Bane had preparation time, he could investigate Peter, target the people around him, and force him into a much more dangerous situation. But for this one, since it's TN Bane, I would have to say it'll take some time, and I'll put him below Wesker and above Deathstroke. Next, we have the Reverse Flash. So for this, I'm going to be using Thawne from the Flash television series. Now, Reverse Flash possesses abilities similar to Barry Allen, including superhuman speed, phasing, and time travel. Now, Spider Sense can warn Peter that an attack is coming, but that does not mean Peter's body is fast enough to avoid it. For instance, imagine receiving a notification that your house is, I don't know, about to explode, except the notification arrives 1 millisecond before the explosion. Technically, you were warned, it just did absolutely nothing for you because it just happened so fast. Now, Thawne can move faster than Peter can think. He could remove Peter's web shooters, learn his identity, travel to another city, return with a coffee, and then place Peter inside a prison cell before Peter even finished throwing his first punch. He could also phase his hand through Peter's chest, although he would probably avoid killing him immediately because Reverse Flash loves making everything unnecessarily personal. Like, this guy is a D1 hater in the show, so I feel like you would also hate Spider-Man. Now, Peter has dealt with fast opponents, but nothing remotely close to Reverse Flash Speedster, brother. Come on. Like, against Reverse Flash, there just really is no strategy here. You can't really do anything, buddy. And next we have Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy is the second strongest character in The Boys. He survived decades of torture and experimentation in Russia, with scientists unable to kill him with bullets at point blank range, and literally everything else that they threw at him. You can imagine they did it. He also carries a nearly indestructible shield and can release a massive radioactive explosion from his chest. Now, that blast can destroy buildings and burn Compound V out of other soups, but since Spider-Man does not have Compound V, I don't think Soulja Boy's blast would burn out Spider-Man's powers at all. Now, since he is so durable, Peter could actually struggle to actually hurt him because Soulja Boy took direct attacks from Homelander and continued fighting, even when Butcher, Starlight, Kimiko, and several others worked against him, because physically overpowering him required nearly the entire group. Peter could probably knock Soulja Boy backward, but doing lasting damage would be pretty difficult because the moment Soulja Boy began charging his chest blast, Peter would sense the danger and attempt to escape, because even if it can't wipe your powers out, you're gonna want to get away from that huge blast. But then again, Spider-Man might see that and be like, oh wait, I cannot let this blast go off because this is going to hurt a lot of people. Now, eventually, I feel like Spider-Man could find a way to restrain him, but I think it would take a lot out of him. For this, I would just have to put an honorable battle right underneath Homelander. And last but not least, we have Terminator. The Terminator is kind of just like an enhanced Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, but instead of being a mindless brute like both of them, well, I mean, Michael isn't really that brain dead. He's got some stalking IQ up his sleeve. But nonetheless, the Terminator is far more intelligent and possesses some of the same feats like durability and strength. So I would honestly just put him based off scaling above Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. So yeah, this is my list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and thank you so much for watching.